All right, we're going to talk about something that's often kept in the dark, but it's absolutely vital for the health, dignity, and confidence of men over 60. This is all about having an honest conversation about reconnecting with your body in a way that's both healthy and empowering.
And look, this isn't just some theory. The advice we're diving into today comes from an expert who's been doing this for over 15 years. We're talking about someone who has helped more than 10,000 men just like you, on this exact journey. Men who wanted to trust their bodies again and age with real strength and peace of mind.
So, before we get into the practical how to stuff, we need to clear the air. There are three really dangerous illusions floating around out there that cause a ton of unnecessary shame and confusion. If you believe them, you'll just keep spinning your wheels, looking for answers in all the wrong places. So let's tear them down one by one. First up, this idea, this really widespread and frankly damaging belief that this part of a man's life just stops, that it's something to be packed away and forgotten about. But is there any truth to that at all? The real truth? That idea isn't just wrong. It's pretty much the complete opposite of what's healthy for you. Believing that this totally natural function has some kind of expiration date is one of the most harmful myths out there. Let me tell you why. When it's done mindfully, it's actually a powerful form of health maintenance. For one, it activates crucial blood flow, which is absolutely essential for keeping the tissue healthy. It also helps protect the prostate from inflammation. And on top of all that, it actually calms the nervous system, which can genuinely lead to better sleep. So think of it less as a taboo and more like a necessary physical exercise. Okay, this brings us to the second big fear. This is the worry that the frequency itself is the problem. That you can somehow run out or cause damage by doing it too often. And that's a huge source of anxiety for so many men. And again, the evidence just doesn't back this up. This fear is totally unfounded. The whole concern is misplaced because the real issue isn't about how often you do it. It's about something else entirely. Here's the key takeaway. Any potential harm doesn't come from the frequency. It comes from the method. It's the rushed, forceful, or stressful way of doing things that's the real culprit here. And learning how to fix that? Well, that's exactly what we're about to get into. And finally, the third illusion. This is that story society tells us that as a man gets older, his desire just vanishes. It's a myth that can make you feel broken or weird for having what are perfectly natural feelings. Desire doesn't just disappear, not at all. It might change its rhythm or its intensity, but it's still a fundamental part of who you are. And hey, if it feels like it has vanished, that's usually just a signal from your body or your mind that something needs a little attention. It's a reason to investigate, not to give up. So let's reframe this and just call it what it is: mindful self-stimulation. This is not a guilty pleasure. It's not a character flaw. It is a necessary form of self-care. It's a way to actually listen to your body, maintain its functions, and strengthen that vital connection between your mind and your physical self. And this is exactly why being mindful is so important. Let's be honest, your body at 60 is not the same machine it was at 20. And that's just biology. It's not a defect. Where the response used to be lightning fast, the nerves now need a bit more time. The skin is thinner, the blood vessels are more sensitive, so the focus has to shift away from a quick release and toward a deeper connection with sensation. The whole game is about working with your body's new reality, not fighting against it. Okay, so now that we've busted those myths, let's get into the practical solutions. We're going to look at the three most common mistakes men make, and more importantly, the simple, really powerful ways you can correct them. The number one mistake, by far, is rushing. When you treat this like a chore you just need to get done, your body goes into a state of alert. Your blood vessels actually constrict instead of opening up, and your brain starts to link touch with stress, not pleasure. The solution is so simple it's profound. Just give yourself time. Carve out at least 15 minutes of uninterrupted, private, guilt-free time. That sends a message to your body that says, hey, you're safe, and allows it to relax and actually be receptive. All right, mistake number 2. Some doctors actually call this the death grip. It's an instinct that makes sense. If sensitivity seems lower, you just apply more force, right? But it's totally counterproductive. The tissue down there is delicate, and too much pressure actually dulls the nerve endings over time. It can even cause tiny injuries. So what's the solution? Lighten up. Seriously. Use a natural moisturizer. Something simple like coconut or olive oil works great to reduce friction. The goal is to focus on the quality of the sensation itself. Treat it more like a therapeutic massage, not a race to the finish line. Now this this might just be the most important one to fix. Because this is not just a physical act. It's a conversation between your mind and your body. And if you've got years of internalized shame or anxiety, those little thoughts like, I'm too old for this, or this is wrong, it creates a silent tension that physically blocks pleasure. The solution has to start with self-compassion. You have to give yourself permission. Reframe this whole thing as an act of self-care, of healing, of just coming home to your own body. And a huge part of that emotional healing is realizing you don't have to figure all this out by yourself. If those feelings of shame or anxiety are just too much, true strength is reaching out to a doctor, a therapist, or even a friend you trust. That's not weakness. It's a sign of self-respect. So, of course, this is the question that's on everybody's mind. We've said that frequency isn't really the problem, but what's a healthy, normal range to even aim for? Is there one? Well, medical studies do give us a pretty useful benchmark. For men over 60, a healthy average lands somewhere between 2 and 4 times per week. This seems to be the sweet spot for keeping the tissue healthy and those neurological pathways active without putting too much stress on the system. But, and this is a huge but, let's follow that number with this critical piece of wisdom. That number is just a guideline. Seriously, one deeply mindful, relaxed session a week is infinitely better for your body and mind than a daily, rushed, stressful one. When it comes to this, quality always beats quantity. So, to pull all of this together, here is your takeaway checklist. Think of it as a simple 6-step guide you can literally start using today to put all of this into practice. Let's just run through it real quick. Number 1, schedule at least 15 quiet minutes for yourself, no interruptions. 2, always use a natural moisturizer. It makes a world of difference. 3, before you even begin, take a few deep breaths and consciously relax your shoulders. 4, use a lighter touch than you're probably used to. 5, make your goal the sensation itself, not the outcome. And number 6, and this is non-negotiable, listen to your body. If you feel any pain or discomfort, stop. If you follow these steps, you can honestly expect to notice a real difference in comfort, sensation, and confidence in as little as 2 weeks. Look, this isn't about chasing the past or trying to be 20 again. This is about honoring the body you have right now. It's about health, it's about dignity, and it's about forging a deeper connection with yourself. The power to make this positive change is entirely in your hands. So the only question left is, are you ready to begin?